Everyone in the city knew the name Adrian Blackwood, not because of kindness, but because of power, towering glass buildings, ruthless business deals, headlines that spoke of billions gained and enemies crushed, and a man who once ruled boardrooms now confined to a wheelchair after a tragic accident that shattered not only his spine but his faith in life itself. Adrian had money, doctors, machines, private therapists flown in from across the world, yet every morning he woke up feeling poorer than the day before, because hope was something no amount of money could buy, and his mansion, once full of laughter, now echoed with silence and resentment, until the day his new maid arrived, a simple woman named Maria who cleaned floors that once reflected Adrian's success, and with her came her 5-year-old daughter, Lily, a child with golden hair, white curious eyes, and a heart untouched by fear or status, a child who wandered the mansion freely, humming soft tunes, asking innocent questions that made the staff uncomfortable. And one quiet afternoon, as rain tapped against the tall kitchen windows and Adrian sat staring at his useless legs with clenched fists and burning tears, Lily stepped in front of him, placed her tiny hands together, knelt on the cold wooden floor, and looked up at him with a gentle smile that felt heavier than any insult he had ever faced. Then she spoke words no doctor, no priest, no billionaire friend had dared to say. "Sir, kneel down and pray with me, and you will walk again." And the room froze. Maria rushed forward in panic, afraid her daughter had crossed a line that would cost her job, but Adrian raised his hand to stop her, his voice trembling as he laughed bitterly, asking a child if she understood what she was saying, if she knew how many specialists had failed him, how many prayers had gone unanswered. Yet Lily did not argue, she did not explain, she simply said, "Mama says when you have nothing left, that's when God listens." The closest, and something cracked inside Adrian, a place hardened by years of arrogance and disappointment, and for the first time since his accident, he felt ashamed, not of being paralyzed, but of having lost the ability to believe. And though he could not kneel, he slowly bent forward in his wheelchair, hands shaking as he joined Lily in prayer, not asking for miracles, not demanding healing, but whispering a broken plea for peace, for strength, for meaning. And in that quiet moment nothing magical happened, no sudden movement, no lightning from the sky, but something far more powerful took place, because Adrian felt warmth, not in his legs, but in his heart, a warmth he had forgotten since childhood. And from that day forward, Lily came every afternoon, praying beside him without expectation, without fear. While Adrian began to change in ways no therapist could explain, he stopped yelling at staff, he listened. He asked Lily about her dreams, and she told him she wanted to be someone who helps sad people smile again. And weeks turned into months, and one morning during physical therapy, Adrian felt a faint sensation in his toes, something so small it could have been dismissed as imagination. But Lily clapped her hands and said, "See, God is smiling." And Adrian cried like a man reborn, working harder than ever, driven not by pride but by gratitude, until the impossible slowly became possible, muscle by muscle, step by step. And on the day Adrian stood up using parallel bars, the first person he looked for was Lily, who simply smiled and said, "Told you." And when Adrian finally walked, unsteady, trembling, but walking, he did not credit doctors or money, he credited a little girl who taught him that miracles don't begin in the body, they begin in the soul. And as he rebuilt his life, Adrian rebuilt others too, funding hospitals, supporting single mothers like Maria, creating scholarships for children like Lily. And every time he spoke publicly, he told one simple story, not of wealth or success, but of the day a maid's daughter taught a broken millionaire how to kneel again, reminding the world that faith, humility, and kindness can heal what money never will. And if this story touched your heart, inspired you, or restored even a small spark of hope within you, then remember, there are many more stories like this waiting to be told, stories that can change lives. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because your support helps us bring more powerful, emotional, and life-changing stories straight to your heart.